This video is about review for derivative. Question 1. Consider f of x equals 2x minus 4 over x squared minus 1. X is greater than -1 and less than 1. Find the f prime of x. For f prime of x, you have to use quotient rule, which means f over g prime equals g squared f prime of g minus f g prime. So we will make a denominator square. X squared minus 1 squared. Then 2x minus 4 prime times x squared minus 1. Then minus 2x minus 4 times x squared minus 1. X squared minus 1 squared. 2x minus 4 prime will be 2 times x squared minus 1 minus 2x minus 4 times x squared minus 1 prime will be 2x. Distributive property equals x squared minus 1 squared 2x squared minus 2. This is a negative 2x. Do the distributive property. So minus 4x squared plus 8x. Then combine like terms. Negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 2 over x squared minus 1 squared. Since this is a rational function, we can factor the top if possible to see whether we can reduce. Common factor is negative 2. X squared minus 4x plus 1 over x squared minus 1 squared. X squared minus 4x plus 1 we cannot factor, so we just leave as it is. Let's go to B. Show that if f prime of x equals 0, then x equals 2 minus square root of 3. F prime of x equals 0. So we have negative 2 x squared minus 4x plus 1 all over x squared minus 1 squared equals 0. We know this is a rational function. For rational function, px over qx equals 0. We only make p of x equals 0 to figure out the roots. Negative 2 cannot be 0. So we just make x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0. We cannot factor to solve this quadratic equation. We got to use a quadratic formula. Quadratic formula equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we know a equals 1, b equals negative 4, c equals 1. And we can get the x, do the substitution. X equals negative b will be 4 plus or minus. B squared will be 16. Then minus 4ac will be 4. All over 2 times 1 is 2. So we get 4 plus or minus square root of 12 over 2. Square root of 12 will be 2 square root of 3. Reduce, we will get 2 plus or minus square root of 3. Check the domain. Domain is x greater than -1, less than 1. Since x greater than -1, less than 1. So x equals 2 minus square root of 3. Because 2 plus square root of 3 will be greater than 1. Let's go to C. For the graph of y equals f of x, find the coordinates of the y-intercept. For y-intercept, we will use f of 0 equals 2 times 0 minus 4 over 0 squared minus 1 equals -4 over -1 equals 4. So y-intercept will be 0, 4. For D, show that there are no x-intercept. For f of x equals 2x minus 4 over x squared minus 1. We set up this equals 0. Rational function p of x over q of x equals 0, which means p of x equals 0. So we have 2x minus 4 equals 0, x equals 2. Because the domain for x is greater than -1, less than 1. So no x-intercept for f of x. Let's go to E. Sketch the graph showing clearly any asymptote behavior. For f of x equals 2x minus 4 over x squared minus 1, we can factor the denominator x plus 1, x minus 1. We already figured out no x-intercept for x greater than -1, less than 1. For the vertical asymptote line, x equals -1 and x equals +1. For horizontal asymptote line, y equals limit as x approaches infinity 2x minus 4 over x squared minus 1. Since our domain is x greater than -1, less than 1, there is no horizontal asymptote line. Let's draw the sign diagram first. The number we choose for test is 0. We already figured out f of 0 equals 4. This is a positive. So the graph will be something like this. The minimum value will be at x equals 2 minus square root of 3. Therefore, for this E, don't forget to label the x and y and also the origin. Vertical asymptote line. 2 minus square root of 3 is about 0.3. This is a minimum value, 2 minus square root of 3. Then you can sketch the graph. That's for E. Normally, when you sketch the rational function, sign diagram is very useful. So I recommend you draw the sign diagram first. For sign diagram, you need an x-intercept. You need a vertical and a horizontal asymptote line. Let's go to F. Show that 3 over x plus 1 minus 1 over x minus 1 equals 2x minus 4 over x squared minus 1. 3 over x plus 1 minus 1 over x minus 1. We will do cross multiply. Denominator multiply will be x plus 1, x minus 1. Here, 3 times x minus 1. This one will be -1 times x plus 1. Since this is a show that, you need to show every single step. 3 times x minus 1 minus 1 times x plus 1. Distributive property combine like terms. 3x minus 3 minus x minus 1. X plus 1 times x minus 1 will be x squared minus 1. So we have 2x minus 4 over x squared minus 1.